Welcome to the Profile Series. My name's Terry Duenas, and we're here to talk about a subject I am starting to love. This is great. We're going to talk about youth hockey. And we're here with the leaders of youth hockey on the Cape. And to my left, Anthony Baroni. He is associated with the Yarmouth Dennis Youth Hockey Association, as is Chris Martin to his left, and to his left is Sean Roycroft from Barnstable Youth Hockey Association, which kind of govern youth hockey from, well, what ages? What ages, Anthony?
Really, I would say 4 to 5 years old. A lot of kids start, but it can really go up until grown adults, and that's a great thing about hockey because everybody can play. There's
Great.
teams and leagues going on everywhere. So
That sounds wonderful. 4 years old. Now, 4 years old, when you say that, it seems very, very young to me. I have a little granddaughter, and she's 3, but I hope she's out of diapers before she starts hockey. I guess that could be one of the league rules, you know. But 4 years old.
You know what? And the great thing about hockey is, and a great thing about things that we're doing is that we let kids out there just have fun. So it's, you can call it hockey or you could call it having fun. And a lot of kids, but kids can start at 6, 7, 10, 12, even 13, 14-year-olds.
So, Chris, it doesn't really matter when they start.
Well, I think if you look at what USA Hockey has done a lot of work around, is that kids gain their greatest skill sets from, I would say, from 4 to 13 years old. They're real sponges at that age.
Sure.
They start to understand, and if you can get kids younger on the ice, they'll adopt and they'll gain those skill sets at an early age, and that will it'll take them through life. But it would, again, if you look at for hockey, yeah, the younger they start, and generally the 4 or 5 age bracket, that's when they start to really understand. They'll start gaining that skill set.
Wonderful. I noticed in just talking too, and talking with Sean, you guys all say kind of the same thing. This is fun. It's got to be fun for the kids, and we have to remember that if it's not fun, why do it? Now, Sean, you mentioned that it didn't used to be that way. Early on, youth hockey was much more. Was it more intense? Was it more driven?
I think it's always been pretty much the same. It's always been fun. I can remember when I started a long, long time ago in Barnstable Youth Hockey, it was fun. Some kids don't like getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to the hockey rink where it's cold. Nowadays, they really don't have that issue. But playing at the old Kennedy rink at 5 o'clock in the morning, it was in the middle of January. It was,
with the wind blowing through the rink?
It was freezing cold at times. But I remember because I love hockey, and I loved it so much even back then, getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning when my dad came in to wake me up, I jumped right up and was out of bed. If it was a school day to get up to go to school, it was a little different story. He had a harder time getting me out of bed to go. But for hockey, it didn't matter. At 5 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock at night, it didn't matter. I was up and out, ready to go.
Doesn't it seem like Sean would have been one of those good kids you want on your team, man? Tough, get out there and play, and always gung-ho on playing.
Still am.
All right.
Still am. It's kind of a cliche, but all roads to hockey lead to men's league or
Excellent.
women's league. I'm still playing at 51 years old. I still play in the men's league.
Great.
Sunday nights up at the Youth and Community Center. I still love it. Still a blast. A lot of fun. And hopefully my passion for hockey transfers over to my coaching, and as the president of Barnstable Youth Hockey, I want to see it grow. I want to see it succeed because I love hockey so much. And it's just so much fun.
I can certainly attest that the coaches in the youth hockey at Barnstable anyway, and I'm sure it's the same at DY. The coaches are really targeted to increase the kids' skills, have them get better, and have them have fun on the ice and play that way. And I think that you certainly have some really dedicated coaches who do such a great job in youth hockey. And so tell me about the administration of both of the leagues. Are they town-oriented? Are they nonprofits? What's the setup on there, Anthony?
So, speaking on behalf of the Cape Cod Waves and the Yarmouth Ennis Youth Hockey, Cape Cod Waves
tell us about them.
Cape Cod Waves is an all-girls program that we attract girls from all over the Cape and beyond.
Great.
And it's just, again, it's our, it's really a place to play competitive or just have a place to play for girls at all ages. Our Yarmouth Ennis Youth Hockey is more for the Mid-Cape area that we attract kids, and really, which we always kind of recommend up through a certain age, before puberty, that they kind of mix and play together.
Great.
And then as the game becomes a little more physical, the girls really focus, and kind of jump on the all-girls teams on the Cape Cod Waves.
So they, at the early levels and the levels, Chris, tell us what the levels of youth hockey are for people who don't know. So we happen to be, so I know them all now, but.
And surprisingly enough, I'm not a hockey player. I grew up playing pond hockey, and I have a son that plays. But the levels of hockey are generally, you have a mites level, which are up to about 8 years old. They call those mites, and they have squirts that is the next level beyond that for 2 more years, and then beyond that is peewees, and then it goes to bantams, and then beyond that midgets, which is around the high school age bracket.
Great.
But yeah, it starts off in that young age bracket, and I'll go back to Sean's comment about fun. I grew up playing pond hockey. I was never an organized hockey player. I fell down, hit my head in the ice. My mother said, no more. But I look at what we're trying to incorporate in today's hockey world is really true about having some fun, bringing back the old ways of kids just playing hockey by themselves or giving them structure that they can just enjoy themselves in doing it and not have to worry about trying to be a professional at 8 years old. This is truly about them just trying to have some fun and trying to sport. So.
Great. Now, as you mentioned, Chris, pond hockey, I'm sure you guys weren't decked out the way that some of the kids in the youth leagues are now. Safety's utmost in this, Sean? You seem to have them pretty well padded out. I mean, they have chest protectors, elbow.
Well, they have to be, especially nowadays, with lawsuits and things like that. We follow the USA Hockey guidelines as far as what equipment they have to wear. And then our program, we participate both in the South Shore Conference and the Yankee Conference. The South Shore Conference, for instance, the kids don't have to wear a neck guard. In the Yankee Conference, they can't play if they're not wearing a neck guard. It's just, that's one of the two differences. That's the main difference between those two programs as far as equipment goes. But all the other equipment is the same.
Great. I mean, they seem, as I mentioned to you guys, I have a grandson who's in mites level at 8, and he's pretty well padded when he goes out there. I don't think he's going to get too hurt playing hockey. I mean, anything happens anytime, but I think he's pretty safe out there with a helmet, and has a great helmet and neck guard, the whole deal. So that's wonderful. Bantam goes up to 14, and they start to get into high school to play at that, and that's when they split between the girls split out to individual, like Cape Cod Waves.
So the Cape Cod Waves, we start at a U12 because a lot of girls just really prefer playing with all girls.
Sure.
And so that's at a U12 age level. When past peewees, past a 12-year-old level, then that's when the game becomes very physical, and that's when the girls really shift to the Cape Cod Waves, or come from other programs to the Cape Cod Waves so that
Great.
they have a place to play.
Are you the only girls program on the Cape?
There is another program up in Falmouth, the Cape Cod Storm.
Great, excellent. And so that works out really well. Sean, kind of loop back on this idea that hockey should be fun. You were telling me a story that when you were playing, you took a team up to play in. You were playing in a tournament in Newport.
Down in Newport, the Newport Whalers, they host it's called the Christmas tournament every year, and this was a squirt team a few years ago that we had up there, and during the game it was one of the elimination games, so it was kind of an important game to be playing in. And this one particular player sitting on the bench, I still have no idea where it came from, but he had a little toy plastic dinosaur. It was his turn for a shift, and I'm looking for him to see where he's at, and he's playing with the little dinosaur, dancing around on his glove and everything, and I turned to him, I'm not going to mention his name, but I says, hey, it's your turn to get on the ice, and he's like, oh, and he just kept playing with his dinosaur, and we had to have somebody else go out on the ice. It was a funny moment. You couldn't help but laugh at it, especially when it's the kids at that age. It's fun, and
Yeah,
that's
I
what
remember that.
it's supposed to be. It's
Sure.
fun. It's those things that make me want to coach and come back and coach, even though I'm at the older level now, just because of the age of my kids. But I still like to get on the ice. Our first farm session was this past weekend. We had 4-year-olds, 3-year-olds, their first time stepping on the ice. There were a couple 3-year-olds that I know that were out there. And just to get out there and see the look on their face the first time stepping on the ice, that's what wants to bring me back. That's to see a kid the first time step on the ice and the smile, the look on their face, it's amazing. It's a great feeling. I love it.
That's wonderful.
So-
That's certainly what it's all about.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned that the farm those sessions just started now. So what's the season? Is there a season that runs, for example, at the Tony Kent Arena with your association?
Yep, so hockey can be a year-round sport, but I don't think, I certainly don't recommend that because you get the burnout factor.
Sure.
So a typical season is between September and March, and we always try to push it up a couple weeks, start the middle of September. The younger kids generally start a couple weeks after that, and the farm or our grow session starts about this time of the year in October or the beginning of November. Then, of course, for kids, they can go do additional supplemental leagues in tournaments and different camps during the summer and the spring.
Great. And as we mentioned, your association plays at the Tony Kent Arena. What's the facility like if folks have not gone to Tony Kent? What do you have at Tony Kent? You have one ice surface, right?
Yep, we have it's a hockey rink,
Single.
and we welcome all.
Great. Now at the Hyannis Youth and Community Center, I know we have 2 ice surfaces. So does that must give us more latitude, because I think the problems, as you guys mentioned, it's always ice time.
It is ice time, and it's prime ice time. Of course, every organization wants the prime ice time.
Sure.
So, and now that we're getting ready to start the high school season, that factors in too, especially for us at the Hyannis Youth and Community Center, where we have not only Barnstable High School playing there, Mashpee plays there, Pope John Paul, they play there also. So there's practice ice, not only game ice, but practice ice. And there's several other organizations that play out of there also. We've always had a great working relationship with them, and I don't want to speak for the other programs that are there, but I know that it's worked for them also.
Great.
And we all just work together, we make it work. We've actually had to trade ice times with the other organizations there. We accommodate them, they accommodate us. It's just how it has to work in this. And the bottom line is it's all for the kids.
Sure.
It's not about that program or this program. We do it, and we do make those decisions based on what's best for the kids.
Scheduling has got to be a nightmare,
Absolutely.
but as you go. What am I not asking about youth hockey that you would want to tell the folks at home? What do you think?
I would say the biggest thing is the fact that it's easy now, and
Cool.
you alluded to it as far as ice time goes. It's not traveling at 5 in the morning anymore. We as an organization, do whatever we can to get the prime ice time after school hours, Saturday afternoon games, Sunday late morning, early afternoon games. And I think the leagues are certainly recognize that as well. And a lot of work goes in to create these schedules, and as Sean alluded to, the other organizations using the rink certainly work with us as well, because in reality, as far as the high schools go, we are the feeder systems to the high schools.
Right.
So it's important for us, and also the most important thing is for the kids to have fun and really gain the abilities at the younger ages, and really the biggest difference has changed to being all skill-based versus before. I think a coach would bark orders and tell the kids where to go. What we're trying to do is destructure everything so the kids just go out and have fun. And they're going to learn,
Beautiful.
they're going to pick it up on their own.
Yeah, I think that the practice, this whole idea of practice and clinics works so well because they develop their skills and their confidence on the ice. And I've seen it in my grandson going from, his skating ability has gotten so much better. I mean, he was skating at first when several years ago he's trying to use the stick as the third leg in the stool, and now he's skating better and better every time he's on the ice. Chris, anything that the folks at home, what would be the biggest problem with youth hockey that they could overcome, and they could look and their kids could, other than the parents are probably the biggest problem, but that's a whole nother story.
Well, I think that, again, it's been made many times, many comments that parents can ruin the game at times if they're not positive, I think that's one of the things you have to look at. You have to be very positive with your child. But hockey's changed from the fact that, the old days it would be you'd stand on the blue line, skate all the way down the other end of the ice. And really, they've come to recognize that they really have to shrink that surfaces up. I mean, hockey's probably one of the last sports to really shrink the size of the surface that kids
Sure.
play on. And that's what's changed in many of our programs, that we've really shrunk the surfaces down. Kids are playing on very small ice surfaces at a very young age group. And you want to see great hockey, you go watch a 6 or 8-year-old playing on a small rink that's 3-on-3. It's fast. There's lots of action. The kids are enthused. Half the time they don't know what the score is because they're just having fun, and it's
Absolutely.
always moving. And again, we talk about that problem. Problem in the past was, I think, how we set up the skills sessions and talked about. Anthony said, we kind of destructured everything. We've done some of that. And again, I look at it as what we've done now in just changing the model of how hockey is taught is significantly going to improve our program over the years.
Yep, I think that's great, and I think the ice surface, that's a great point. I know Falmouth has a little mini rink, which I think is a really cool little rink for them to play on, because they don't have to go all the way. It's not all the way. That big full ice surface. Sean, on your program, what's the best thing about Barnstable Youth Hockey?
The best thing about Barnstable, I can't say that there'd be just one thing that would be the best. I think it's everything. Like I said, our farm program had its first session this past Sunday.
Beautiful.
And and it wasn't just for me. I was able to look at all the other coaches and parents that came on the ice to help out, and to see the look on their face and the enjoyment. Looking up in the stands, looking at the parents for their first time.
Absolutely.
Even, and I know that there were several people there that are not hockey families, that it was just their child coming to them saying, can I try hockey? And that's how it started for me when I was a kid. My mother and father were not hockey people. I asked if I could play hockey. And so that's how it started. And to see the look on their face when the first time, the kids fall a ton. We know that at that age when they
Sure.
first step on the ice. It's all about learning how to get up. And to see their child just get up, stand up, and get back up on their feet. I mean, it's a
That's
huge
great.
accomplishment on that first day of being able to do that, and to see the enjoyment, it's great. And then to watch the kids go from that first day. I've been with the program for a long time now, and there were kids that I saw their first day stepping on the ice at Farm, and now I'm watching these kids play high school hockey, and to see where they are now, it's amazing.
Gentlemen, the three of you are great ambassadors for youth hockey, and we appreciate everything that you do, and we are lucky to have you in our towns of Barnstable, Yarmouth, and Dennis. It's fabulous to do it. Keep up the good work, and we thank you. If you would like to get your child involved in hockey, we have some great programs going on at the Tony Kent Arena and the Hyannis Youth and Community Centers. Please get involved. And again, gentlemen, thank you very much for coming and taking your time.
Thank you.
Keep talk. We appreciate it. Great, gentlemen.
Thank you. Perfect. Thank you.